definitely you want to know your instruments. You want to know the basic instruments that you're going to be using, the different instrument sets for different types of different types of surgery. If you don't know the instruments, always ask before you start the case whether you're scrubbed in or not. If you're observing for a day, ask them what the instruments are. If you hear an instrument name that you don't know, ask them what it looks like or ask them to show you. It's always very helpful to just see it and get your hands on it. Be respectful and use your manners, whether it's saying thank you for someone tying up your gown, which that seems like something that you don't need to really say thank you for every time, but honestly, if you do, it just makes that person feel a lot better, and it makes you feel better for, I don't know, just having someone do something for you. And if you need something else open throughout the surgery, say please and thank you, and it goes a long ways. Just like our parents told us when we were younger, always use your manners. It gets you far in life. Number 3, do your research on cases you have done. So if you've already done cases and you write them down, take notes on them, you want to go home and you want to research those cases. You want to see what else you can do the next time and see what else you can anticipate during the surgery, and know that, I don't know, like they're going to use these clamps rather than these clamps, or this type of knife blade compared to this blade, because you're in different types of different parts of the body, and I don't know, just it's very helpful to kind of understand the surgeries that you have done, because usually if it's a general case or any really specialty too, you're going to probably do it again sometime in your career, whether it's when you start working or in your next clinical day or whatever, but it's always nice to just kind of understand exactly what you did and yeah, just go from there. Number 4, focus on a few things to remember of each case. I struggle with this a lot. When I go into the OR, I get very anxious and I want to know everything. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what exactly they're doing. I want to know what every little piece of anatomy is around everything that they're working on, what they're cutting through, what they're avoiding, how I'm going to use the instrumentation, why I'm going to pass this off at this time, and it has not worked for me, nor has it probably worked for anyone else, but it's just too much stuff to remember at one time when other things are circulating through your head, whether it's a surgery that's similar to the one you're doing and you're thinking of things in that surgery, or I don't know, just so much stuff to remember, and you can't look at a case and try to remember the entire thing. So just try to focus on a few things, whether it's this surgeon likes to use these two clamps rather than this clamp, or I don't know, like maybe the dressing or how they like their dressing, or maybe they like it cut in half and they like to use the 2 halves, or maybe they like it whole, or maybe they like it cut in thirds, or anything like that. Just the little things that you can catch on, you want to just remember those and write them down. Just take notes on everything, every case you do. Number 5, ask your preceptor questions. They've obviously been in our shoes at one time. They know what we're going through. They want to help us. We're with them for them to help us, and just ask questions. If you feel like it's a silly question, obviously someone else has probably asked that, or someone else is thinking that, and just ask it. It's not going to hurt you. I mean, it's just a question, and obviously you want an answer, and if they have a problem with it, then maybe ask someone else and you'll get an answer. Always be confident. Know you're learning, know you're a student, know that everyone's not perfect. You're definitely not going to be perfect going right into clinic. It's going to be very overwhelming, but that's okay. That's how you learn. You're going to make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. Learn with experience. We need all the experience that we can get before going out onto our own, and that's really what it comes down to, is just getting the routines of things and understanding how to do different surgeries and working with different surgeons. Number 7, know your basic anatomy. So when you get your list of cases that you're going to be doing in the day, just kind of, if you don't know, ask your preceptor, ask the surgeon, ask anyone around you, what anatomy are you going to be working on, or just kind of understand what you're going to be going into and what part of the body you're going to be going into. Number 8, stay interested at all times. That definitely is an important one. The surgeon, I feel like, enjoys you more in the OR with them when you are acting like you're more interested and you're being observant and you're watching what they're doing, or asking your preceptor questions and maybe they overhear it. And I just feel like it shows that you're a lot more interested and you want to be in there, you want to learn, you want to know what's going on in the surgery. Yeah, just always stay interested. Don't be like dozing off, looking at someone else or watching someone else over there talking or whatever it may be. I get distracted sometimes too, so it's happened to me a couple times, I'll admit it, that, Kelsey, get back. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But I definitely have been working on that, and it definitely has improved. Number 9, know your basic setups. Remember where you put your instruments on your table, or tables, back table, or your Mayo stand. A lot of the times you get flustered and you are fishing around on your back table for instruments that you know you have on your Mayo stand, or you think you set on there, but then, like, literally sometimes you look at an instrument and you don't even know what it is, but literally it might be a hemostat or a coker or the straight scissor, and they're like, the surgeon asked for a straight scissor and you're looking right at it, but you're like, that's not the straight scissor, where's my straight scissor? And then you go back and you're like, oh my gosh, there it is. And I don't know, you just get a little overwhelmed at times, but just remember where you put it and put it in the same spot every time. So like if you have the scissor and say it's going to be in the left hand corner towards the top of your Mayo stand, put it right back there, so then when you hear scissor, you know that it's in the left hand corner up at the top. So, and you know that that's where your scissor is, and you can just grab it, hand it off. Number 10, when setting up, put everything in its home. That's what I was told by a preceptor, and I absolutely love it, and I think about it every single time I set up a table. But think about all the different things that are going to be on your back table and how overwhelming it is, because it honestly is. I mean, there's just piles of stuff on your table, and you're like, how in the world do I organize this? But yeah, they told me to pick things up, touch them 1 to 2 times, and put them directly into their home. So whether it's the basins, put the basins on your working end towards the top of the back table, leave them there where you're going to have them the entire surgery. Or you pick up the, say, a suction tip. What are you going to do with that? You're going to connect it to the tubing, and you're going to put it where you're going to, like usually when I set it up, I put my suction tubing up onto my Mayo stand so it's easier to hand off once I bring my Mayo stand up. So if I'm touching the tubing or the suction tip, I'm just going to put it together and I'm going to put it on my Mayo stand and I'm done, and it's in its home and it's going to go be passed up when I go up to the field. Or say like the blade, say I'm worried about the blade of injuring myself or anything like that, just take care of the blade, put it onto the knife handle, put the knife handle onto the sharps, or the sharps area on your back table, and just put it there and just have it done. The light handles, put them up onto your Mayo stand. I definitely have struggled with that, but I have been really working on that, and I feel like I have improved a lot. But it's just something that you have to keep in mind of trying to only touch things 1 or 2 times. A lot easier said than done, I know. But you'll get there. What are the 5 things that are the most annoying preceptor attributes? I don't really know if I can think of 5, but I know for one, definitely when they try to get in and they try to pass the instruments when you're kind of hesitating of what instrument you're going to pass off. Or, I mean, we're learning, we're students, we're not familiar with all of this, where these people have been working with these surgeons or working in this profession for years. So it just comes with time, with experience, and they understand that to a point too, but getting more experience now and being in the second rotation, I feel like I would be the same exact way and be like, oh, she doesn't know like exactly what instrument they're asking for, like it's right there, I'm just gonna grab it, I'm gonna pass it. But then you're like, no, like she has to learn somehow, and I totally get it, but it is very annoying when their hands are up in your space and you're like, get out of here, like let me do this. But Honestly, if you feel comfortable enough, just say like, hey, like, can you just let me do this? Like, I want to just get the full experience and learn from my mistakes. So whether it's the surgeon has to turn around and kind of ask and wonder what the heck I'm doing, know that I'm trying to find the instrument that he or she's looking for. Another one would be when you're trying to ask them questions and they're having a conversation of like personal things happening, or what they did last weekend or what they did last night or where they went to dinner, and it's just like, okay, it's fine to talk, but I'm here to learn. Like, I asked you a question and now you're so into this conversation that you don't even know what I just asked you. That can get very frustrating at times. Another thing would be, I feel like some of them kind of get annoyed with us that we don't understand the surgery completely, but then some of them also are like totally fine with it and understand that we are learning, and they understand that we're students, and not that everyone doesn't, but a lot of them kind of expect you to know more, and it's just like, I can't even tell you what is going through my head right now. Like, there is probably a million things, and it's fine to feel overwhelmed, because you have to feel overwhelmed with how many things are circulating through your head, or whatever, just about life, school. It's hard, but make it through. I don't know. I think that's probably the only annoying things I've found. I've had pretty good experiences with most of the preceptors. What have been the 5 most positive comments, compliments, moments, or experiences you have had in the OR? Definitely, it was like my 4th weekend maybe, and I was kind of just moving around, and I was really confident, and I had done one of these surgeries the week before, so I was just confident in what I was doing, and the surgeon came up to me and said, "Kelsey, you look like a natural in this," and I literally stopped and I looked at him and I said, "Thank you so much." Like, I have never heard someone say that, and he was kind of just laughing at me, but it really did mean a lot, because that just makes you feel good when someone can look at you and see what you're doing and just say something like that, because, I mean, not anyone's just going to come up and say that, so the fact that a surgeon said that too, like, just meant a lot. Another thing would be that I was told that I would be a good leader, because this preceptor, her and I kind of were messing with each other, but she was trying to take the lead, but then I was trying to take the lead, and she was definitely testing me to see what I was going to do. So she was just kind of messing with me in that way, and she was like, "You definitely are going to be a leader one day, and I'm excited to see where you go." And I was like, "Thank you." I mean, it's just good to get those little compliments, and definitely when a surgeon says, "You caught on so quickly, like, good job, I can't believe you got this surgery down pat," like, that is, like, yes, like, A+ for Kelsey. Like, I don't know, just a great feeling. Another one was my preceptor it was a very difficult surgeon that I worked with, but my preceptor told me, "If you can work with this surgeon, you can work with anyone." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And she was like, "You did an excellent job. He kept cool, you kept cool, you caught on extremely quickly, he saw that, like, it was just a very smooth surgery, and if you can deal with someone like that is very intimidating, you can deal with anyone." And that, I don't know, that was just a very good feeling. The last question. What is the one thing you want to pass on to every student behind you? Definitely study. Study as much as you can. Sometimes it's extremely overwhelming for how much you have to study, but just study, study, study. Sometimes in my free time,